Hey, how is everybody doing today? Well, it is. You guys saw the title. It's Sunday Brunch with me, Fefe. And I do have a big update that I wanted to talk to you guys about. And I'm not sure if everybody knows about this or not, but I will be drinking my coffee. And for those of you who don't know, I am a Kingdom Hearts fan. So never fear, Kingdom Hearts is here. And I do have my brunch. For those of you who may have already eaten, don't forget the name is Sunday Brunch with Fefe. But just getting right into it, there are some developing things that I don't think we know about the Tim Norman case. I know a lot of people are asking, well, gee whiz, this guy took out a $450,000 insurance policy on him. And generally, most of us know that when you're going to have a insurance policy, you generally need to have the person's signature, right? I mean, you have the insurance person, they come, if the person's of a certain age, generally they're going to do all types of things. Well, here's a plot twist that we probably did not know. Now, a lot of us probably already knew the main story, and the main story was that the young man, Tim Norman, did utilize the assistance of a stripper, and that stripper was the person that helped with facilitating the murder, the terrible murder of this young man. Tragic situation. But what we didn't know was that Tim Norman literally walked into the store with her. They both purchased their cell phones at the same time. So they got burner phones. He bought the burner phones. And then after they both got those cell phones, they split up. And this is according to a news story that I have here. And so I wanted to give you guys one more bit of information, which was really important in this whole thing. Now, it does tell us, and I'm just going to read the news report to you, okay, you guys. So it's going to be redundant to a point, but it'll give us some background as to where we're going, and then I will let you hear this unbelievable piece that I thought, why would anybody with a securities or something for negotiables licensure for a state, why would you ever jeopardize yourself like that? But this is a good tip here for people who think that all you got to do is to get a little bit of money, do something on the side, nothing will ever happen. This guy probably didn't even know about it, but the insurance man found himself an unwitting participant. I hope he was unwitting. I hope he didn't know. Anyway, St. Louis, for years, James Tim Norman worked alongside his mom, Robbie, at her Sweetie Pie soul food restaurant in St. Louis. Now, we know that part. Let's cut to the chase. Let's just get on with it. Down here, I can put the link of this story in the description. I know that I can do that. I can just do that. Then I can right click it. I'm learning how to do this stuff for YouTube. All right, so here we go, you guys. Federal authorities say in November of 2014, he fraudulently, Norman, obtained a $450,000 insurance policy on his then 21-year-old nephew, on which Norman was the sole beneficiary. So I know a lot of us are wondering, because I know in the back of my mind, I was like, how did that happen? It just doesn't sound right. Now, on Thursday, this past Thursday, the grand jury indicted Norman and his insurance agent, 42-year-old, it looks like Waile Yathnagman. And I'm sorry if I'm terrifying the man's name. But anyway, it says both of them, each one with a count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and mail fraud. Youngman is a former record producer in St. Louis who for the St. Louis native rapper Nelly. I'm sorry, y'all. But that's who he is. It says that he is a former record producer for the St. Louis native rapper Nelly. See, all these people who had touches with money all seem to think that they are invisible. Like, can't nobody see them when they out here doing mess. Now, we see you, boo-boo. We see you. And apparently, what the feds did was they left it alone. Sorry, y'all, but this is brunch. They left it alone and they monitored him for the past few years. So there is no mistaking. I mean, yeah, we do got to go to court, right? And he does have to sit down and be tried, but I don't know. You might think that he may think about something else. Okay, so let's see here. I think that we should let the investigation take place before we form our opinion, said the Sweetie Pie's customer, April Williams. So they went through here and they asked all different types of the customers what they thought. Meanwhile, they're grubbing up on a piece of chicken while they're saying that. You should have caught them in the parking lot after they had eaten. So apparently, the deal is that he did have accomplices and he had people, this guy must be very beguiling, because for him to be able to convince all of these folks to do what they did for him and with him, he has to have a pretty great game when it comes to talking. In the link, you guys, there is the link for yourself. You guys, I always have to make sure that I give you links because, and I'm sure all of you all the same way, whenever you cite some information, it is so good to get where you got that information from, because we know here that it is allegedly. But I think I really want to hone in on the fact that this guy had his insurance agent working with him. Now, again, we don't know if the insurance agent knew what he was up to. Let's just hope that he didn't, right? Let's just hope he didn't know. But isn't it curious that him knowing, because there has to be, some type of procedure when you're writing an insurance policy. Isn't it curious? Wouldn't you be curious if you did not follow through with all the steps? You want to know why he didn't? Because to me, it would seem like if you're writing an insurance policy, that there has to be some type of safeguards in place to prevent fraud. Does that make sense, you guys? Hold on, let me see what we got here. Hola from the West Side. Hey, DC. Let's see. Happy Sunday. So to me, I think it's very unique that he did not have any safeguards in place to make sure that this was not a fraudulent insurance policy. That's the type of thing that I'm wondering why those little I's and T's, did not meet each other, why the T wasn't crossed and why the I was not dotted. So what do you guys think about that? What do you think about that? Do you think that this guy may have been involved? And then I understand that he never even got a penny of the insurance money because the insurance company was alerted that there was something not right. So that means that since that time, they've undoubtedly been following it along. I just thought that that was amazing. There's another story that I wanted to update you guys on as well. And I'm not sure if you knew it, but I felt a little used last week because as I was watching the Democratic convention, I felt so bad for the little girl, Estella, and her mother, the Waters family. And I got an alert this morning and I was like, are you kidding me right now? So how I felt used was, does anybody remember the story before I just start rambling off with the young girl who, let's see, as an agent, he took a bold chance in losing his license and going to jail. And you are right. And they have subsequently arrested him. Like we said, as of this Thursday, the gentleman who owned the insurance company or who was a part of the insurance company, he's in prison. He's in jail now. He may have bonded out, but according to the story that we just read, he got arrested for it. And so they undoubtedly knew that he was a part of the whole shenanigans. Hello, Black Spring with Autumn. So yes, he did get arrested. And to your point, yeah, would you really want to help and get yourself a commission on something and stand the chance of going to jail? That type of stuff does not, it's like it just doesn't register to me. And again, even if he just did it because he knew this guy and he wanted to help him out getting a policy, there are still some type of safeguards in place that should have been exercised in order for him to make sure that it was a viable case. However, there is a part of the story that says that while he was requesting information to get back to him, he never got that information. And so it seemed to be dead in the water, the situation, or the insurance policy was dead in the water. Now, you guys, I don't know if you know it or not, but I keep a pot of coffee all day because I love coffee. But you got to balance it out with water, and I don't take any sugar. So just cream, no sugar. Anyway, but with that said, you would think that this guy was thinking the mugshot. When you guys go to that link, that mugshot, tell me if that's not everything. Because this guy is not grinning like Tim Norman was. No, baby, no. He looked like you done got me in some ish. This in here got me in this mess right here. That's the face he's making. And can you imagine what his wife must feel right now? Yeah, his wife might not be too happy if he had a wife. All right, so on to the next story, folks. What I was talking about was the little girl that we saw that had the letter that was written and she was reading it. Did everybody see that? You may or may not have seen it this past week at the convention. But if you got the opportunity, please put a 1 in the chat as quickly as you can, because I got a gigantic bit of information. And again, I'll give you the link to that. But I want you guys to tell me if you saw that information. All right. Okay. So no. Oh, wow. All right. So in the story, what happened this past week at the convention was that, hold on, you guys, I got to get ghetto. Hold on. I'm live. Get out of here. Get away from the door. Quit knocking. All right. So what ended up happening was I read a story and then I double checked it with another story. And what I ended up doing was I found out that this young lady's mother was arrested for crossing the border under 3, basically, an overlapping. Hold on just a second, you guys. Hey, sweetie, I'm live. I need you to get away from my porch. Goodbye now. That part. Back in the day, we used to say, get up off my porch, you rat. But he's not a rat. He's just not getting in the house. Anyway, so as I was telling you guys, the issue was her mother was arrested in 98. And when her mother was arrested in 98, she went over the border and then she came right back. She did this repeatedly. And under a few different people's administration, this woman kept coming back. So she went under the Bush. She was under Bush. There was a regulation that was created that if somebody was arrested, that they would have to be sent back over the border without incident. In 1998, under, I believe it says Clinton, and you'll see the story, under Clinton, she was returned over and over again. They arrested her. What ended up happening was her information did not get put in the database when they crossed, some lines had been crossed. But up to a point, they had their finger on her all the way. Okay, they could figure out where she was, when she entered, all this good stuff. And as they did that, they showed that she was not only arrested under Clinton, but after that, she was dealt with under Obama. So this whole entire time, I'm sitting here whimpering last week, looking at this baby reading this letter, and this administration didn't have anything to do with her original documentation that showed that she was here illegally. Now, here comes the plot twist on this situation. Apparently, because she was married to a military man who they are no longer together anymore, she was married to a military man. This man, when you're military, they don't look at your immigration the same way. It's a specific way that they handle it. And it did not bear to question who this person was, because if you are military and you have a spouse, being that, we as families, military, we move around a lot, right? They don't put the stigma of the immigration, because you could have acquired your spouse anywhere, right? All right, so here's the deal. That's exactly what happened with her. They found out later that this lady was on a list and that she was in the country illegally. That's the deal. She was here illegally. Now, here comes some more plot thickening. A little bit more of the plot thickening for me was the fact that the little baby was crying, talking about how they pulled her mother and her family apart and all this other stuff. As I looked at it and I read the story and I looked at the photos, I thought to myself, no, sweetie, your mother did that to you. The government did not do that to you. I don't know what it is with us, because again, my emotions were, oh my God, this poor baby. But then when I dug in the story, I find out that no, your mama. It's your mama. Your mama did this because your mama came over here and illegally came in over and over and over and over again. And the problem with that situation is she had fingerprints. She was told not to come back, all this other stuff. And then she left in 98 and immediately came back in, is what they said. She immediately came back in. And by coming immediately back in, it had happened that she came back in undetected. Now, next plot twist. They were also talking about the children who were in the cages, right? That was not under Trump. That was under Obama. And again, I remember seeing that back in 2012, back long ago. And I thought to myself, even then, how could they put these babies in these cages? So here is my problem. My problem is not that I want to believe the left or I want to believe the right. My problem is, don't lie to me. Don't insult my intelligence. You guys are the ones who actually put that baby on that stage, and Biden wasn't banging down the door to let that mother or if people like her to remove or absolve all of their sins, as it were, and forgive everybody. That's not what happened. So don't lie to me. That's the only thing I'm saying. I don't care if you're whatever you are. Don't use my emotions to get me to vote for you. That is what I had my problem with this week. So with that said, that bothered me. And that's another update to a story that we tapped into or tapped onto at the top of this past week. So we got the Tim Norman situation. And again, just recapping that, I don't think I would have been so carefree as to allow my insurance, licensure to be messed around with. Let's go to the chat right quick so we can just say hello to a couple of people. We're going to be getting off here in about 2 minutes. Oh, I love you so much, DC. That is a sweet thing. I'm glad we're here making comment too. So I'm going to go up here and read. Some of you may or may not still be here, but I think it's only fair. Okay, so Ola from the West Side, that was DC. He was dumb, period. Yes, he was. And I do know that you're talking about the situation with the Tim Norman situation. As an agent, he took the bold chance, of losing his license. That's correct. That is correct. Is that T Money 78? I like that, T Money. T Money, get that money. All right, let's see. Our man to True. What's up? What's up with you? Derek, intelligence done right. Black Spring with Autumn. You know, guys, I get the P's and the T's all mixed up. Okay, they train you on watching out for insurance fraud. Is that T Money 78? Are you still in the chat? Okay, is T Money 78 is still in the chat? I guess not. I needed to ask. Okay, so do you know anybody who deals with negotiables or instruments like insurance and things like that? How do you know that information? Oh, okay. So basically what you're saying is that in their training, they're told what to look out for, right? Because I just want to know, because to me, when I was a travel agent, they used to tell us, you know, if you see somebody coming in to pay for a trip and they're breaking it down in increments of this amount, then you have to fill out this form, send this to the federal government, you have to sign this affidavit, you have to do all this crazy stuff when people are using money to go on trips. I used to go to an insurance school. Okay, great. You know what? A lot of people say used to. That don't mean nothing. No, used to means a lot, because generally in the very beginning of courses, you're getting all your theory. Okay, all the other stuff is for the board, right? But in the beginning, so since you used to go, that means you got all your theory on your last job. Okay, you had to go to insurance school on your last job. Okay, see, this is the reason, you guys, why we really do need to be able to chat where we can hear one another. And that's why I think going back to do Blog Talk is going to be even better, or wherever I decide to go, but it more than likely be Blog Talk. So you guys can call in, we can ask questions and talk about this. All right, so what you're saying to us is that insurance agent may not be, and don't let me put words in your mouth, but that insurance agent may not be innocent. Oh, okay. I have my license and insurance report team money. Okay, good. So with the two of you, I want to ask, so basically what you guys are saying is it fair to assume that this guy was not as innocent as some might want us to think? So in other words, he should have known. I'm going to give you guys a second while I drink again out of my Kingdom Hearts cup. So basically, he should have known. And honestly, that's what I thought, that he should have known. So he's not as innocent as he makes out, or people would want us to believe. And I feel like when I read the rest of the story before coming on, I thought, gee, this isn't too cool. You know, this isn't cool at all. This is a lot of people conspiring against, at that time, an 18-year-old child. But then I want to show you how the government is. And see, this is why I always say that it never pays to be a criminal, ever, because they literally sat back. They watched him cast his lot, watched him do his thing, and then just sat there for all of those years and watched this dude. Can you imagine that? They knew he was walking around thinking he had gotten away scot-free. Okay, let's see here what we have. Basically, some fraud sticks out when Tim has the agent to take out a high policy on that young of a person. Right. Use StreamYard. Okay. I can bring people in. Thank you, my sister DC. You know, DC has known me longer than a lot of people know. We go way back. Way back. We went to church together, but even before church, we were around each other even before church, right? DC, the purple diva. Even before Bounds, we were in each other's midst. Yes, way back. So with that said, I want to thank everybody for being here. Team Money 78. You guys, here's the problem with my glasses. This is my, what is that thing called? My bifocal. And so for me, if I want to read, I got to do that. He waited the 2 years too. Explain that to me. He waited the 2 years. What does that mean? Oh, before he killed him. Now, let me ask you something. Don't you guys think that's sort of fishy? Because DC makes a really good point. He was really trying to play it off, basically. That's what that sounds like to me. Don't you think so? It's basically him saying, okay, I'm going to go out here and do this dirty deed. And after I do this dirty deed, I'm going to play it off and I'm going to wait and I'm going to chill. But they said that this cat was really in financial problems. And the story that I had read earlier this week when we did the first live where we were talking about him, I did not know to what degree this guy had robbed his mama. I mean, I just heard her on TV saying, you know, you shouldn't have opened up that stuff. You shouldn't have opened up those extra places. I didn't give you authority. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know. You know what is so funny to me? Because it's like, don't they check into people's background before they get on TV shows? I guess not, because there's been a lot of people who turn criminal after TV shows. But I don't know, you guys. I just think it's tragic. Now, The two stories that I'm saying are tragic, obviously, is this one, but I really felt used because I was trying to see if there was going to be anything good this past week. And you know, you guys, I feel really, really used. I feel used. I feel used by them playing on my heartstrings. Do you guys think that they played on our heartstrings with that story with the little girl? Mm-hmm. Now, didn't she used to be an Ikette, T Money 78? She used to work with oh, you guys, I don't know who's in here who hasn't given me a thumbs up, but I got 6 people and 6 thumbs up. Somebody hit that button because I don't like that. 2 6s. That ain't good. Um, so with that said, she used to be with Ike and Tina Turner. Isn't that where her fame originally came from? Singing with those folks. Mm-hmm. That's where she came from, being in the entertainment industry. And so, honestly, in the very beginning, which is why I wanted to say about the guy in St. Louis that he worked with the insurance agent. The insurance agent also was, thank you, somebody. We lost 2 people, one person in the chat, but thank God somebody got that 6. Now we got 7 and 7. Hey, 7, that's my nickname, whether y'all know it or not. I did hair for years under 7. So anyway, you guys, listen, it's been 26 minutes and I don't want to hold you guys up. I know you all have things to do on a beautiful Sunday like today. And yes, it was Tina Turner. That's right. And so I don't know. I worked, and DC will tell you, in the entertainment industry singing for a long time. All right. That's not a really healthy and clean environment to work in. And there, I think a lot of people get a lot of ideas. They get so caught up on this acting type of mindset that, again, they think that nobody sees them. And that's a dangerous place to be. You know what I mean? You got to get to a place at one point in your life where you just begin to stop looking at things and start to look at yourself and say, hey, you know what? I don't have no money, but let me figure out why I don't have no money. But people are not like that. And it's sad because with all of the information that there is out there, or plans that tell you how to get yourself together, how to get yourself fiscally responsible, everybody is always looking for the get rich quick scheme. Nobody wants to work. Nobody. Yes, there is a 2-year limitation during the first 2 years of death. During the first 2 years of death, and you can't cash it out for fraud or suicide. Wow. Well, I don't feel so sorry for this guy. I think he pretty much was a part of the problem. And again, we have to get to a place in this world, and I don't know when that'll ever happen, where we can learn to do without sometimes. I used to call it with my kids because they would always, I got to have this, I got to have that. I need this, I need that. And you know what I said? I always tell my one son, the must haves are the things that get you in trouble. Oh, I just got to have it. I must have it. I must have it. Is it a necessity that you have it? Now, this is on a different tip, but it's really related. Is it a necessity that you have it? Or is it just something that you have coveted and you just think you got to have it? You want it. Because a need and a want are 2 different things. And that's right. All money isn't good money. And at what cost do you have to go out and get money? That's the reason why I listen to that. A lot of times people say, well, the love of money, money is the root of all evil. And backing up to what I was about to say, no, it is the love of money. The love of money is the root of all evil, because if it was just money, then Yeshua, Jesus, would never have said money answers all things if it was evil. No, love and money will make you do what this cat did. Love and money will make a woman lay on her back or a man do something wrong to get money. Love and money. And then the lack of patience. And you don't have to be a believer. You don't have to be a Christian. You don't have to be a Buddhist. You don't have to be a Hindu. You don't have to be any of that to tap into the principle that I'm talking about right now. When you begin to love that money, you will find yourself doing stuff that you would never do. You will never do. A man even becomes a gigolo because of money. Come on, somebody. A man will date a woman or be with a woman that he really would never ever have chosen to be with if it wasn't for that money. Conversely, women do the same thing. So you got to love that money in order for you to go out here and do what you're doing. And you see, that is the rub. That is the problem. When we begin to love it so much that we can't do without it, that's a problem. That's a problem. And because you think that money is everything, what goes along with that thirst for money is the spirit, the spirit of a narcissist. Gotta have that money, and you're very suave with it. You're narcissistic, and you're power hungry at the same time. And then it doesn't matter how much money they get when they're like that, because they're going to need more money. They're going to keep needing money to satisfy their need for money. So it is a never-ending cycle. Never-ending cycle. And right now today, I'll say this, and it's a trip to me, because when I look at this whole situation that we're going through, it reminds me back in the 2008, 2007 crash, when everybody was losing their mind about the insurance and the housing bubble and all these crazy things that people are just losing their minds. But do you guys remember how calm, cool, and collected our community was? Y'all remember that? We were sort of calm, cool, and collected. I mean, we were like, dang, they messing up. Gee, can't nobody get no house right now? Darn. But we was cool. You know why? There you go. It isn't everything, but it's right up there with oxygen. I'm live, son. So that's my grandson. So go on that way. No, take you in your Fortnite t-shirt that way. Not at all. Not at all, my friend. That ain't gonna ever happen. Yeah, you're right. They also say that money isn't everything, but it's right up there with oxygen. Hey, let me tell you, that the passage I just said, that money answers all things. Yeah, it answered that light bill. That's what the Bible says. Money answers all things. It answered a light bill. It answered a rent. It answered that car note. It answered that house note. It answers. It answers that growling stomach and stomach. It answers. It answers. So loving the money is the problem. It's not having the money. That's why it cracks me up when I hear people say, oh, well, you know what? Oh, it's the rich, the rich, the rich. How did the rich get so rich? How did this happen? And why don't they give money? Man, please. I'm going to tell you right now, God wills for me to have X amount of millions or billions of dollars. I'm going to do what I know I'm supposed to do. I'm going to bless those that I know he tells me to bless and take care of people. But by the same token, you're not going to guilt me because I work to get what I have. And unfortunately, there are loopholes in tax laws and things like that that make some of these rich folks get richer. What they need to do is remove the loopholes. And they need to quit taxing us on stuff that we do with our hands. If I'm a hairdresser, which you know by trade I am, don't touch my money. No, don't touch my money. When I get all my money, I can't even tax a customer on a haircut. I can only tax him or her on the products that they purchase. And yet, at the end of the year, you tax me for doing a haircut. What's up with that? What's going on? This is something I did with my own hands. How do you get the right to tax me on that? Okay, that's not right. Singing professionally. Now, I paid my taxes back then. But I'm just saying, why should you get a coin off of what I can do naturally? You shouldn't be able to get a penny off of that. The only thing that you should be taxing me for is if I am over the road moving things for the purpose of commerce. Okay, so Derek C. Williams says, a 19-year-old college kid committed suicide. He read his portfolio wrong. It happens. He saw a negative, is that $100,000 balance in his stock portfolio. He couldn't deal. His mama and daddy found him dead. Oh my God, wait a minute now. I'm going to need you to come on WhatsApp, my brother, because you need to explain this to the people. I need to understand this. Derek C. Williams, we're all a part of his content creator gang, y'all. So, Derek, I need you to explain this. Do you mind? Do you mind if I call you right now? Because I need you to explain that. Because we were just talking about suicide and mental illness, mental health, and all that other stuff the other day. And you see, I'm gonna hit you up. I don't know. Can I? Can I? What's that? What's that? Yeah, that's not cool right there. I need to understand when you say he read the portfolio negative, did he actually have the money? I need to understand that. Did he actually have the money and he read it wrong? When you said that he read his portfolio wrong, it happens that he saw a negative balance. Is that $100,000 balance in his stock portfolio and he couldn't deal? His mama and his daddy found him dead. My God in heaven, what are we getting to? What are we doing? What's really going on right now? That's the story right there. How do I clip it in here? And can I call you right now and put you on speaker so you can explain it? Derek C. Williams, would I have your permission to do that, sir? Okay. So I think that right there is a great point, and he put a very helpful link here into the description box. You guys go to that link. Of course, he says good, because I got to get some clarity on this. Bless God. All right. Can you guys hear this ringing? Can y'all hear? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear. If not, I'll have to maneuver something. Okay, go ahead. Tell us now. What are you saying happened?
Well, a University of Nebraska college student was trading stocks on the app called Robinhood. And what they've been doing, like I'm a stock investor, so last year, around this time last year, maybe October, they started having commission-free trades, which means if a stock is $10, typically what happened, they would I'm with E-Trade, $6.99 commission fee, so I would be paying I would get the stock for $10, but the commission fee for E-Trade would be $6.99. So I'm coming out, that's $17 spent. Well, they did away with that. So what happens, starting like in October of 2019, they would say, look, we're going to start having people just, waive the commission fee and just buy the stock. And that would coax people to put more in the market, and that would pump up the stock market. And that's a good thing if you're an investor, because, I don't have to pay that commission. I can buy more stocks and I can boost my portfolio. Well, this young guy, you have Robinhood, Stash, and Acorns. They are new trading platforms. Now, I've been interested in the stock market since my 10th grade teacher, rested dead, Miss Files, had told me about white people jumping out of buildings during the 29 crash because they lost their shirts. Well, I'm from Greenville, Mississippi. We ain't got nothing in Mississippi. Never had nothing in Mississippi. Now, my dad is my dad and stepmama, they both was business owners, so it shows you, like, I ain't all that smart. My daddy was a brick mason, and my stepmama was a beautician, so they were business owners. We ain't learned nothing, so all 7 of us are working for the white man right now. So we ain't learned nothing. But we never was taught that. But I'm saying for this reason. In 93, when I wanted to really start trading stocks, but I had nobody to talk to. Well, we fast forward to this guy. Robinhood, Stash, and Acorns waived the commission fees, and so that would coax people to want to invest, and that's a good thing. Well, come to find out, he was doing options trading and day trading and all this stuff, high risk stuff. Well, Robinhood, for some reason, did not settle on his investment portfolio, because I did a live about it. And what happened was there was a clerical error on Robinhood's part. And so when he went to go check his stock portfolio, he had over $108,000 in the negative. And I guess he lost his noodles. I guess he urinated on himself to say, oh, how is this? So it would his account never settled. They make it right, because what it is, like a lot of times when I will make a trade, because I did one 2 days ago, when I go check where I'm at, sometimes I have a negative balance. You know, it's $70, stuff like that. But then it eventually settles, and I'm good. In his case, he saw 6 digits negative, and he got scared, and he killed himself. So his mom and daddy found him dead. And so Robinhood said that they, again, I did a live about it, and if memory serves, the Robinhood said they didn't want to get into it. They just said that they had sympathy for the family, and it's a private time, yada yada yada. But it's just a cautionary tale. You're chasing money so quick because he was doing this high risk options and day trading. That happens all the time. You see these people kill themselves because they trying to get money now and they lose money so quick. And so it's just a cautionary tale. Now again, poor people. Again, I'm from Mississippi. We ain't got nothing.
Come on now.
Because they no job there.
That's right.
That's all. I love my hometown, but the fact is that there is nothing. There is nothing. But having said that, it forces you to have strength of character, and clearly this 20-year-old didn't. So I just put that in the comment section. I don't want to be long with it. I'm gonna go on and drop back down, and thank you for having me.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You guys, that is Derek C. Williams. If you have not already checked out his channel, you guys go, because he finds the best stories to pull up, and he's very resourceful. He has great stories. But the thing I want you guys to do is, if you get the chance, go click that link. Hello, Arthur. Okay, that's Arthur. I want to do this for Arthur, because Arthur, and then we're going to get back to this, because you guys, I really want to bring this 1 point home. While I'm doing this for Arthur, I can bring this 1 point home, and that is that back during the 2007-2008 crash, most Black folks, or even folks who learned how to do with less, we wasn't losing our noodles like that. To coin a phrase that Derek C. Williams just used. Were we? We weren't. We were not. Wowzers. You know what I mean? We weren't losing our lunch like that. And we weren't losing our lunch like that is because of the fact that we knew how to survive on less. And that goes back to what we were just talking about, the love of money. When you attach your self-worth to $1, you got a problem. When you attach your self-worth to $1, you got a problem. All right, I got something for you here. This is for my buddy. I don't want to get no content strike, but come on with me now, Arthur. Come on now. Come on, y'all. Get your lighters out for Arthur. Hey, old head. This is my brother here who's in love. He loves good music. And what he loves is the Isley Brothers and all the good stuff. Now, DC, I know you know. And there you go. There you go. There you go. So the other day when everybody was coming into the chat, just so you know, Arthur, I was doing a song for them. But I decided not to do a song for you today because I know that I could never compare to the lovely stylings of none other than Ron Isley. Sounds so great, don't you agree? And besides that, I did not want to go too far because I didn't want to get in no trouble. But let me see if I can find some more good stuff here with you. But nonetheless, that was the problem that we had back then, that everybody was losing their minds. Everybody, their mama, old head, what's up, old head? You miss your lottery winnings later. I don't understand it, but I'm gonna leave it right there. No, but so what I'm trying to say, you guys, is back then everybody was, like Derek said, losing their noodles, jumping off of buildings, losing their mind. We heard stories left and right. You guys remember that? Left and right. And we was all sitting like, well, I mean, we've been making it on little or nothing anyway. Mama taught me how to, I always say this, divide a bag of beans. You can make the beans today. You put you some beef in there or whatever you eat. You can divide that out and put that over here to the side. Now today it might be the main meal with some cornbread, all right, and a little green salad. Tomorrow, the night after that, you might have that as the side dish and fry you up some chicken or bake you some chicken, and then you you move it all around. You know what I'm saying? That's right. I agree. I get it now. If you live, you get the prize. If you stay in the game, you get the prize. I respect that, old head. But you got to learn how to deal with a little and make it work for you. That's why I love to quote different scriptures, because it always makes sense when I look at what Paul said. He said, you know what? I've learned, I've been abased and I've been abound, but I have learned, and no matter what situation I am in, wherewith to be content. You better learn to be content, or you'll take yourself up out of here. You better not get wrapped up in what you see on the Real Housewives of Atlanta and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and how these folks is living their life. That stuff ain't for us. Those people, when they put themselves out there and they give all of their personal business and they show how much money they making and they just got to keep up with the Joneses, and then something happens where they can't keep up no more, they try to hurt themselves because they know that their life has only been made on the new Birkin bag, right? Okay, they understand that it's only about how much they can keep going. You know what I'm saying? And you trying to keep up with Christian Dior. You trying to keep up with Dolce and Gabbana. You know how long I've had my frames, my Dolce and Gabbana frames. And all I do this year, it's gonna be time again. I'm gonna take these out and put me some new lenses in as soon as the doctor give me a new prescription. Because I'm in my almost 60s, going into 60. I'll be 56 next month. But my eyes are changing a little bit, not as drastic as they could. But all I'm gonna do is pop these son of a guns out, stick some new ones in here. Why? Because ain't nobody giving you no new money to keep up. These people make new fashions every single day. They got something new. By the time you get that doggone new iPhone or that new this or that, you get that thing, and as soon as you get it home and take it out the box and stick your stuff, your cord and all your things in there, they done hit the doggone news and they got a brand new. Okay? Okay? They got a brand new phone. I can't keep up with nobody either. Stay focused on your lawn. That's right. Water and fertilize it until you get it where you want. That's right. Candy is only one who really has money. That's the truth. And she learned. She's a very smart woman, Candy. DC says that Candy on the Real Housewives of Atlanta is the only one who has any money. And again, it's because she started out young. She understood the essence of money. She didn't go out and buy everything that's brand new. People who got some good sense aren't going to go out and get something brand new all the time. If you got some good sense, it ain't nothing wrong with running around looking like Seinfeld. Get you some dungarees and some nice shoes on and a nice shirt. What's the problem? Why you got to have 30, 40 cars? I look at all these young rap kids and then they sit up there being a one-hit wonder and everybody wondering what happened to them years later. Whatever happened to? Well, whatever happened to, let somebody else talk them into XYZ, not knowing that every time you go and you make a video and you got to go have a hot car in the video, you got to go have this, you got to have all this stuff. They taking that out of your money. They don't know that the only way they're going to get some money is if they go do live performances. So they go out and they get this car, they get this and they get that. Meanwhile, even though you think they're giving you this money because you are so great and grand, you are a super duper the rapper. What ends up happening is as soon as you get your checks or your money, you look and you're like, wait a minute. You look and you're saying, well, who is this? Oh, you remember when we took you to Beverly Hills and we had the camera going and you were getting all that stuff? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, we charged you for that. But I don't even know where most of that stuff is now. I mean, my squad that came in the store with me, they bought it. They got a lot of stuff that day. Yeah. Well, you bought it. You see? So money, the same way this cat thought that $450,000 was going to help him, the money, the loving of the money will create so much chaos. And that's the reason why the music industry that I thank God I left is so corrupt. Because it's what will you do for a Klondike bar? Now what will you do for a Klondike bar? Hey, you see what he did for his Klondike bar? What will you do for yours? Will you do this for yours? I remember a guy asking me back a long time ago. He asked me, "Hey, he was a really well known producer, a lot of money, A&R cat." He goes, "Well, let me ask you, if somebody told you that you had to sleep with them to get your music played, to get your album done, what would you say?" I sat back in my chair and I said, "I sing too well for that." And he looked at me. "What do you mean?" I said, "I sing too well for that." I wasn't being cocky. I just know it ain't no necessity of me running around here taking off my clothes and sleeping with somebody just to get a deal. You can sing in the middle of the street and get attention. Hey, I don't need it. So the point is that people, it is, sis, I got proposition all the time in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Why look and fake rich for others who are broke like you? Come on now. Hey, Gerald. That's right, Arthur. That's right, DC. I'm just reading the comments here, you guys. My car is almost 20 years old, but I'm focused. That's right. How many cars can you drive at one time? I'm not sure if you guys have even seen that video, and I think I may have taken it down, but I love old cars. I mean, I'm a Mopar fanatic. I love old cars. If I had things my way and I could just dream what I wanted in a type of garage, I would have me nothing but Dodges, all kind of old Dodges. I'd have me a Hellcat. Everything gotta have a Hemi in it. That's what I would. Everything gotta have a Hemi. And when I pull up, I want you to hear that. That's what I want. I want you to hear it. That's what I want to hear. Okay, I want you to hear. But I ain't got that money like that. I love cars. If I could have my way, I'm telling you guys, I'd have me a big old hangar with nothing but the baddest Dodges they've ever made. All right. And I want some dual exhaust on it. And I want it to be able to give me an instant facelift as soon as I put my foot on the gas. But it's got to make that noise. It's got to have that deep. It's got to sound like a monster coming down the road. That's me. I'd have that. But you can only drive one car at a time. You don't need all of that. Don't you know that you're going to have to go out and get somebody and have them start up each one of those cars at least every other day? Because even a car go bad if it's sick. So what you need it all for? What you need it? Why do you need 130 pair of shoes, 200 pair of shoes? Why you need all that? So that as soon as the first storm comes through, you ain't got no shoes no more. Especially if you're down in Louisiana or something like that, down in the coastal area of Mississippi, which is where I would love to buy me a home. I was born in Biloxi. I would love to get me a beautiful home back there, but I don't want to have the issue of the floods that come all the way through out there, But my point is, you can only live in one house at a time. So having more does not necessarily mean that it matches the content of somebody's character, because you can have a whole lot of stuff and be a moralless individual. You can have all kinds of money, but have absolutely no substance. And what good does that do you or those around you? Sometimes money makes individuals worse. So you'll find somebody who's got excellent talents. They're a little shady in their business, and you never see them get any further. Why? Because God ain't gonna let them blow themselves up. He ain't gonna let them hurt themselves. By matching that ability with the love of their money, some folks end up hurting themselves. You guys, you're doing a lot of talking here in the comments, and I don't want to miss anything. Give me a few seconds, you all, so that I can look at some of these comments. Excuse me here. Let's see. Can you say Floyd Mayweather? Lots of cars, and why? See, I didn't even know that about that cat. Excuse me. Gerald, The Rock has 437 high-end cars. Oh, hey, is she keeping it above? Okay. Let's see. We are all black. Spring with autumn. All right. Inspiring. Okay. Thank you. My other car is a 1979 280ZX. I had to rebuild the engine. It's a classic. That is a classic. That is a classic. Okay. An ugly house with nice things in it. Oh, oh, head dude said an ugly house with nice things in it. Come on now. She growls up hers. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Now, I tell you that if I have, now I've owned my best car I've ever owned that I love because of the precision and the quality in it was I had an old series, 7 series BMW 740i. I had a 90, I want to say a 98 or 90, and I had a 98. And one of the barbers at the shop back in Georgia damaged it. But what I had done is I had bought it used and I started to fix it. I took it to the salon, the dealership in Georgia, and I had their people go over it with a fine tooth comb. Then I found me a master mechanic that was trained in Germany who had a shop in his backyard. I took him the $150 list that I had gotten from the dealership, the BMW dealership, after I had them give me an assessment of everything it needed, took that list to him. And then we started at half of the cost. We started fixing my vehicle from the inside out. Because I don't care what it looked like on the outside. All right. I wanted my engine. And when I tell you this cat had my vehicles the highest precision. I mean, this thing was purring like a kitten. All right. My car was so off the chain that when she would pull up, because it was a luxury car, you wouldn't even know it was there. My point is this. Even though I loved that car and loved that style. Oh, I just like it. I just like it. I'm a girl. That kind of love, right? Not, oh, marry it. Like Pee Wee Herman. If you love it so much, marry it. Nothing like that. But even though I like that, I could still deal with the fact that when the car crash happened and the barber hit it, and they had to total it out because they would not be able to replace all of those OEM parts. I had to have everything. It's OEM, you guys, is when you have to have the original parts, right? Isn't that OEM, Derek? Somebody in there? So anyway, the guy says I had to have all original parts because that particular BMW, so they had to cancel it out, and I had to just get the monies for it. But my point is, even though I like those kinds of cars or whatever, it doesn't matter that I have a love for that. I'm not going to go get that and 30 of those other cars. I'm not going to do that. My favorite, of course, I say as far as American, Mopar. I love anything that I can put something in it and just give it more power. You know what I mean? I just love that. A few things that you guys may not know about me is I love fishing. I love NASCAR. I love racing. I love motorcycles. I love fishing. Love fishing. I have an ugly stick. I love the way it bends. When I'm getting something real big, I'm a cheater when I fish. So I got to make sure that I got at least 100-pound test. I don't care what I'm fishing for. It's got to be at least 100-pound test. Why? Because I do not like to lose. And anything that gets on my line got to go in a skillet or a freezer. It's not just going to take off with all my stuff, with my lures and my hooks. It ain't doing all of that today. No, sir. No, we're not doing that. If you get on my line, bro, man, you going to the house with me. So with all that, I would just say, I wish that, that we didn't even have to pay for getting a fishing license. I lived in Missouri for years. And when I would go fishing back then, we didn't need no license and all of that. Not back then. It may be different now. And I know I pulled up all of my stuff just recently, and I saw my hunting license when I was living in Georgia. Saw my hunting license that came up in a database. I did a check on me, and then I saw my fish, all my license and everything. To me, that just is it's ridiculous. God made the fish. Why am I giving you money for a license? I'm already buying my poles. Well, because I like different poles. But I just think that we are tax. Everything is tax. And I think that's part of the problem where people try to keep up so much because they know, well, I got to make this amount of money so that I can do this. I got to have this amount of money so that I can do that. And then I got to have all of this money so that I can show up and show out everybody for what I have. Let's see what we got here in the chat. That's your mama's dream car. That 740i. I'm going to get me another one of those. But you know what? I really think I always tell folks that I would just like a car that's just like I would like certain cars in certain categories. Like if I have to have a sedan, I have a purpose for this sedan, and then I have my Mopar vehicles, and I have a reason for that. And then I have my SUV so that all the kids and everybody, my grandkids, they can all get in the vehicle with me. And then we have that. And really, and then you gotta have your like a not an RV, but I would love an RV to be honest with you. But I think that there are practical reasons for having things. You know what I'm saying? So everything in moderation. I think that's the most important thing to drive home is everything in moderation. If you're going to have something and you do get enough money or you want to have X amount of things, please give a set of keys to your family members that you trust. Let somebody drive it because only thing that's going to happen is the car is going to be jacked up if you just let it sit up. You cannot just keep stuff sitting up. Even a house will die if ain't nobody in it. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that? Even a house will die if ain't nobody in it. I don't know whether you guys have ever known that. But do you know why people are trying to run so bad sometimes to get people in their house when they have an owner and they need somebody to rent it? Do you know why? Because they know that as long as that house stays there, A, they're losing their money, okay, especially if they bought it for income. But B, the longer a house does not have a body in it, things begin to deteriorate and tear down. Did y'all know that? People from Mississippi and the South, we know that. People from Alabama, where I live right now, they know that. If you got a house that's just sitting and somebody going through that house and looking, let it sit for a good 2-3 years and you'll see what I'm talking about. You will see what I'm talking about. Even a dwelling needs attention. That's right. Even a dwelling needs attention. So what you going to do with all of that? What you going to do with all of that? You're going to have a big old lovely house. You got 12, 13 houses. 12 or 13 houses. And you're going to live in how many of them at a time? Can't do nothing but live in one at a time. So it is something to say that when you get money and that what motivates you with that money, what's the problem? What's the motivation to getting more? What is the motivation to getting more? What is the, hey, who was the guy, the lady who got a divorce and got a bunch of money? Bezos. It's Bezos, right? Bezos' wife got all of that money. Hey, you guys, turn it down up there. Close the door for grandmother. It was Bezos. I had to put you guys on mute. You probably didn't get on mute, but it was Bezos. Too many homeless. Let's go read the chat. I just need to find someone honest that can rebuild the engine. Yes, you are right about that. Yes, I am a country girl. Even though I was raised out there in Cali with you, I am very country. You don't have a country accent. Get me around all my people at the same time. Okay, let's see. I have a 14 2020 SUVs. I have 14 2020 SUVs and a 5,000 RV. Shut up, Gerald. Hell, I just want an RV. Me too. I would love it. Right? Too many homeless and empty houses. Okay? Philadelphia singer Phyllis Hyman. Oh my God. Let me tell you something. If it was Bezos, I'd quit. Work for what? I think it was Bezos's wife, though, that it was Jeff Bezos who got like mostly half of his money. But to Derek's statement, now I could cry because that is one of the, I grew up on Phyllis Hyman. Yes, we do live on less here in rural Alabama. So true. It's the best thing in the world. It's the best thing in the world. Derek C. Williams just mentioned Philadelphia singer Phyllis Hyman killed herself. The money game and depressed. Now, let me tell you, having been in the music industry, and I did use her a lot when I studied. I used her when I studied music, singing, and I used also one of the greatest singers that I don't know, a lot of people give her props, but the woman is bad, and that's Barbra Streisand. Barbra Streisand helps you learn how to sing with diversity. One thing I'll say about Phyllis Hyman was passed around like a joint in the music industry. And she got tired of being used. Yeah, that's what happened with Phyllis. A lot of people were dogging her and doing all kinds of terrible things. And you see, when you attach your self-worth to anything with a monetary value, right, that becomes a problem. Because she attached the fact that she wanted love. People don't know, but a lot of people who are artsy, they are in love with love for the most part, some of them. And she was in love with love, and she was misled to believe that her music would tie in to her money, but that the man who was telling her, I love you, to get her money, okay, was really lying, and it was all a big circle. So you believe I love you, sure, Now sign here. Now we're done here. Now I'll pass you over here, and I'm done with you. I'm going to read this right here in the chat, you guys. I'm going to start up here. If it was Bezos, I'd quit work. For what? It was. We live on less here in rural Alabama. Correct. Derek C says, I saw her video soul interview with Donnie Simpson, and a few weeks later committed suicide. I believe that living all alone was her cry for help. Yes, especially considered, she thinks that they found her in a hotel. Bezos doesn't even have a 2020 car, but he does have $53 million jet. Come on now. DC, Alabama is beautiful, but it's so racist in many parts. You know, you mentioned that before, and I'm going to be honest with you. Don't nobody bother me. I mean, Arthur and I both live in Alabama, and I think you're going to have racist people all over the place. And don't forget, I was raised in California, and California, and you can look this up, had the most Jim Crow laws on the book than any state in the union. And it shows right now today, because the things that they are passing and the legislation that they are doing tells you they don't care about people. So I'm sorry I'm live. So when you consider that, the only thing that I would have to say is, if you look at what was going on back in those days, people didn't know that was happening. But here in Alabama, ain't nobody messing with us. You know, I think it's the same way no matter where you go. You're going to have those kinds of people anywhere you go. You're going to find racist people everywhere, you know, and I mean, it's associated with what they know or how they've grown up or what they believe or what they've learned. But I don't see it. I had a lot of problems when I was in California. That's the irony, is I remember specific situations that I had that were racially charged encounters in California. I had more there than I ever did in the South. Let me go back to the chat because I want to make sure I give you guys some attention here. Give me a second. Okay, so let's see. Alabama is beautiful, okay, but it's so racist in many parts. My brother went to boarding school there. He hated it because he got called boy. Okay, he's super chocolate. What year was that? I need to understand that. Derek C. Williams says, I am black, 6 feet tall, and well-traveled. Most men were intimidated by me. A few weeks later, deceased. Yeah, she was. Okay, Gerald says, the circle of lies. Derek says, in 1987, I was in the birthplace of freedom, but called the N-word by a white man. Okay, never in Dixie. Go figure. That's what I'm saying. Black Spring with Autumn says, Alabamians mind their own business and they get along. Oh, yes. Okay, Arthur, I am a black belt. The racists keep their heads down. We have as many guns as they do. Okay, Derek says, but I personally feel more offended by black people when black people use the term. Okay, DC says that was the early 90s. Okay, so that's one point. It was in the early 90s. Old Head says, I'm in Los Angeles or Louisiana. Is that LA, Los Angeles or Louisiana, Old Head? So I can't deny, but places with blacks and whites seem lacking. Places with just black and whites? Okay, let's see. He says, I live. Oh, you live in the black belt. I thought you were saying that you have a black belt. You're saying you live. Okay, so you're in Los Angeles. Now, listen, you guys, here's what I want to say. Having lived in Germany, having lived in Texas, having lived in Missouri, having lived in, of course, California, Alabama, Mississippi, I want to tell you this. It really is the people you're dealing with or the people you are around, because we all have biases. Every single one of us have a bias about something, right? A lot of us have issues and a lot of us have problems about a lot of things that we don't like. And it doesn't have anything to do with stay away from this group, stay away from that group. Here's what I want to tell you. It's a little on the same topic, but I got to veer over here and make sure I put a little pin on this piece right here. All right. On the same topic, but while I'm thinking of it, I got to come over here and stick a pin in this. I would have rather people keep their flags up. I would have rather for people to keep all of their stuff up, and let me tell you why. Because I want to know what you think. I don't need y'all to tell these people to put their stuff down, put their flags away, put all these things up. No. I need you to keep it up. Why? Because I need to know where I am. And that's the problem. That is the problem. You got everybody running around here telling people what to do. Let me tell you, I'm going to give you a good story. I was a district manager of a hair company, and I was going into, was it Winder, Georgia? I think it was the Winder area, but I'll remember. I think it was Winder. At a specific part of Winder, there is an area that you can pass, and I ended up only going to one of my stores out there in that area only 2 times before. I ended up driving, and as I'm driving, all of a sudden my navigator is off because I don't go there all the time, right? So my navigator shuts down, and I'm starting to look around me, and I'm thinking, this doesn't look the same. The spirit of that area that I was driving in got real heavy. All right. How many of you guys know that we are a spirit being? So we're going to feel stuff in the spirit, right? That when you hear, oh, something told me, that's your spirit. That's your spirit man talking to you. Something told me I was in the wrong neighborhood. So I ended up looking around, and I'm driving. All of a sudden I saw one Confederate flag, and I'm driving a little more, but I'm feeling like I should have made the turn. Is my turn coming up? And then I saw another one. I said, thank you, Holy Ghost. Baby, I whipped that car around, made that U-turn, got on back down the road. Why? Because I knew it's getting dark. Okay? It's getting darker. And I don't know this area, but I know that flag, and I know the one up yonder. And this one right here, and this one over yonder, telling me, turn your rump around and get on back to Mars. Right? So I did not want nobody taking down the wire, because I want you to let me know how you feel. Show me. I want to see who you are. But everybody's running around here getting in everybody's business. All right? Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do this. Put that down. Put that down. Take that away. Take that away. Take that away. What is the issue? Ain't nothing to the core fix yet. I need you to keep all of your decorations in your house. Keep every one of your decorations up there, right there, right there. Now let's talk. Let's talk. You can keep all your stuff. You can keep all your hate banners. You can keep all your hate pictures. You can keep all of that stuff. Keep it all. Why? I need you to keep it all. Why? I need you to keep it all so that I can keep my eye on you. Because if you remove it, you're going to blend in, boo-boo. I don't need you blending in. I need to be able to see you and locate you so that I can get around you and go away from you. But now that they're doing what they're doing, telling everybody, take this away, take that away, as if they've checked the source of the problem, and the source of the problem has not been fixed. You have a systemic sense of hate. And if you don't get down to the core of that, I'm not talking about the flowers and the bushes that everybody is throwing out to get you to vote for them. No, I'm talking about the actual core. In order for you to see you got a tree in your yard that's dead, what you got to do sometimes? You got to do one or two things. You got to go out in that yard. You got to begin to aerate it. Look around there. Pull up some of that dirt around them roots. See what you got. And if you see the roots is bad, you're going to pull up the whole thing. All right? Or if you see you can salvage it, you're going to go on and you're going to salvage that thing, right? So I don't need you to do any semantic stuff for me. No, sir. No, sir. I'm a person that when you tell me something, I'm going to believe what you say. And if you don't, I've got enough documentation to show me that you did not keep your word. So knowing, and here's the thing. People want to think that we're the only people who have a racist issue, racist problems. We are not. Do you understand that is a spirit? That is a spirit. People who are racist to black folk are mean as heck to poor white folk. But because we've been so geared to looking at our issue only, we don't understand that that hateful individual is not only hateful to black folk, but they are also hateful to the white folk that would help you out of a situation. Why? Because it's based on class. And all of these folk think they're better than the next. So you got to understand that racism is when you talk about racism, that is an evil person. They love no one. They love no one. We got along better with poor white folks back down in the South than you do anybody else. Why? Because everybody loves everybody. And I'm being real. You can hate what I'm saying, but I'm being real. It may not be one other person's encounter, but I will tell you that we all poor, we all know each other. We really just do our thing. My husband was telling me a story like if they needed eggs, they know in the neighborhood who they need to go get the eggs from. If somebody over yonder need X, Y, or Z, you know who you can go get this or that from. Y'all go get what you need to get. You go on about your business and you move on. But one thing I'm gonna tell you about hateful people is a hateful racist person. They love nobody. They're very bound up, and you begin to see them as they get older. See, that spirit begins to take over that person's body. They get all hunched over. They get all mean in the face. They look like an old leather baseball mitt, right? They start looking crazy. They don't like the poor white people. They don't like the black folks. They got a category for everybody. Why? Because it is hate. Hate is what motivates that. Period. So for me, I walk with my head up high. I give people respect. And when I see a fool, I know a fool. I know you now. I keep on going. But guess what? I'm going to give you respect. Why? Because that's me. I'm a lady. I'm a lady. You're not going to drag me down to act crazy with you because I can go there. But I already know you crazy. And I already know you got mental problems. Just like I said with that lady who got in my face that day. She was racist, but she got right in my face and yelled literally from here to here and yelled behind me to her friends. Oh, hi. Hi, y'all. I didn't say nothing to her when she did that, but oh, baby girl, you came on back around that corner and then you ended up standing directly behind me without your friend girl and her husband for your audience. And I turned right around and I said, you do realize that I was standing here when you were hollering and yelling at your friends, don't you? You do realize that. How rude of you to have done that. You didn't expect that, did you? No, you expected this. That's what she expected. Baby, I can go there, but why should I? I don't know you like that. And you don't deserve my attention. Not like that. But you do deserve for me to respectfully let you know I saw you. I saw you. And because I saw you, you need to know I saw you. So let's go to read some of the chat here right quick. Let me read some of these here. Okay. The gut feeling. Yes, the gut feeling. Since the 60s. Okay, let's see here. Since the 60s. Yes. Hey, Armand, come here, babe. Hey, please get off my porch with all of that noise. I'm live. Please get off my porch. Okay. All right. I don't know. Can you guys hear me? Okay, I'll keep touching stuff. Okay. All right. All right. All right. So let's read some of these. It varies. You are correct. People assume racism and Dixie are the same. That assumption would be wrong. Correct. Gerald Gaming's Nation. I think the whole black and white issues have been going on since the 60s. Plus, mainstream media loves to divide people. True again. I was born and raised, this is Arthur. I was born and raised in North Carolina and experienced more racism there than in Alabama. True. And there's a reason for that. That whole entire region there. There is a reason for that. That whole region, the Virginia and all of that, there's some serious stuff right up in that piece right there. Arthur, good point. Good point. Good point. I think I will do a study on that and bring you guys some information to qualify, to back up what I'm saying, and to further expound on Arthur's point. All right, DC says, and we have a president who loves the division. Sweetheart, as much as you need to know, it's not just him that loves the division, but it's those that actually bring his divisiveness to light. They are divisive as well. Why? Because they all the same. You got two sides to the exact same coin. You got one bad cop and you got the good cop. They both appear to you to be your friend. Depends on what side of the coin you're on. Are you on the good cop side today, or are you on the bad cop side today? I'm gonna show you an example of good cop, bad cop. Just recently, you just saw, now here come good cop, bad cop, y'all. Now keep up with me now. Come on, here we go. Good cop, bad cop. You got Nancy Pelosi and all of the folks say, okay, well, we're not going to vote on anything until you give us everything. And we want to give these people they $600. We want to give it to them. When they had the opportunity to go on ahead and make it through the end of the year, that $600 for unemployed individuals who had absolutely nothing to do with the current state of the coronavirus situation, they could have given that extended through the end of the year when they originally did it, seeing how there are still $3.58 billion still sitting there, right? Okay, they could have done that. They could have pushed it up to the end of the year. All right, great. That's the first point. Good cop, right? Good cop, right? All right, so you got that. Then you turn right around, and now you have the goofball in the Republican side saying, hey, no, we only should give them $200. Then somebody else, yeah, by giving them $600, that's making them make more money than they made when they were working. Excuse you, boo-boo? My take home was $11.52 a week. What are you talking about? So you really think that $600, $800 is more? Okay, fine, no problem. That's your opinion. So they all knew that $600 wasn't going to go forever. But they're the ones who called it all off, right? The government's the one who called it all off. All right, now, fast forward to about 3 weeks ago, when the president gets up and says, okay, that's it. You guys have had 11 conversations about this. We have 11 times that you guys was on the books of having sat down and having come to the table and having left the table without making one decision. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the executive powers that be, and I am going to make sure that these people get some money. So here come bad cop, good cop, bad cop, y'all. He say, okay, we're going to give $400 federal government, but we're going to give $300 hard, and we're going to make sure that each state gives $100. Now, wait a minute now. That $600 unemployment, that little piece that they were given through this last CARES Act, that was $600 straight up government. How are you going to now ask the state to give even $100? Good cop, bad cop, got to be real with all of it now. Follow me. So you're going to give the $100, and we're going to give the $3. That was on that Saturday. By the next Tuesday, they had somebody from the Trump administration come out and say, oh, well, we worked on the specifics of the deal. And yeah, we're only going to give $100. We're only going to give $300. So the states don't have to give the $300. Don't have to give the $100. It's okay. Now, everybody is saying, why didn't they go to push? Why did they go on vacation? Why? Why did they go on vacation? They went on vacation because they already knew that he already had it in the bag. Y'all, we only going to give him $300 a week. That's all we want to give him. All of us agree? Right, left, all of y'all agree? Yeah, you do. Okay, I'll be the bad guy. I'm going to go out here and be the sweet face, and I'm going to give it to him real good. Okay, y'all good? So he goes out there and he tells everybody that he's going to give them the money. We end up with the $300 because they did not want to give the full $600 in the first place. They always wanted to give you $300. Do you guys understand that there's good cop, bad cop? I know people are leaving and I understand that, but you got to understand that right is right and wrong is wrong. You got a good cop and you got a bad cop, but they are all part of the same. In a minute here, we're going to be able to see that it truly is them against us. And you can vote for whoever you choose to. I don't care. I don't care. They're all nice human beings. For those who are human beings, they're all nice. But what I'm saying is, they came out and said they wanted to give you 600. Somebody said, no, we don't want to give them 600. We want to give them 2. Somebody said, no, let's just give them nothing. Then he allowed all of the noise to be heard in the scuttlebutt. After that, the dust settled. They gave it a brand new name. That $300 has a name attached to it. It is a bill. It actually has a name. Now, it's not a part of the CARES. It's a part of something else. So now they got you to take $300. Do you guys see my point? So it could be Trump. It could be Pelosi. It could be any of them. But what I want you to know is they all know each other. They all party together. It's just like having a business and you got the upper management and then you got the managers who deal directly with the people. And then you got the people. You got the standard employees, and above them, you got the supervisors. But above the supervisors, you got the managers. And above the managers, you got the CEO, the CFO, the COO, right? But guess what? The only people who are literally lateral are all of the employees. Based on each group of folks, those are the only individuals who are lateral. Every team is lateral among to themselves. So there is nobody in any hierarchy except for the cat on the top. And guess what? The cat on the top makes sure that everybody underneath him does what he needs to do. But then you got a couple of supervisors there that'll pretend like, well, I would give you more money, but Bob, he told me that I couldn't. You've been working there for 30 years, and they're going to tell you what Bob said. You've been there before. This person who's telling you what Bob said is telling you what Bob said. Right? But they already knew, because Bob said, I ain't gonna give him nothing. You're gonna give him this amount and that's it. Oh, well, I wanted to give you more. No, you couldn't. You playing good cop. You couldn't, because Bob wasn't gonna let you. You guys got to open your eyes and see that it doesn't matter who it is. Right, left, blue, green. Wrong is wrong, right is right. If you can find somebody that's doing something wrong, have you ever been in love with somebody and they did something wrong? Huh? Talk to me, somebody. Have you ever been in love and they did something wrong and then you forgave them until you couldn't take it? Anyway, that's the point. So let me go over here and read you all. Okay, I think the whole black and white issues have been going on since the 60s. Maybe it's been going a lot longer than that. All right, and we have a president who loves division. All of them love division, because in the divisiveness, they can now get control. Because as long as we down here fighting each other, they got everything they want. We down here fighting like roaches and rats, and they up there plugging in holes, taking money from this and putting it in their pocket. All of them. All right, so let's see. Gut feeling. Yes, Derek. Flags aren't that important. Putting any flag on a truck is disrespectful. Well, you know what? California has a lot of different mindsets about stuff. And I agree with you. I grew up in the DMV, and when I moved to Maryland, we had a lot of races. Oh, yes, ma'am. That's that whole tender nugget up there that I'm talking about, that I said I'll give you guys some information on. Derek says they are retiring the Mississippi flag. What will that do when policies are still in place? That's what I'm talking. It's the semantics. And see, the people that they're running around with this, they're getting everybody hot up under the butt, making everybody get upset, putting the fire up under everybody's butt. But the people who running with the fire, toting all that talk, are not looking at the bottom line. You can get rid of that all you want. But if you still got people sitting up in place that was there before that, all they doing is doing this a little bit. That's all they doing, is hiding their mouth. And they still doing the same thing. Why? Because all you did was make him hide what he felt. I don't want you telling nobody to stop saying anything. Let these people say what they want to say. Okay, sanitizing history does nothing. Virtue signaling should be a felony. Yes, it should be, but it won't. That was from Derek C. Williams. DC says the racism isn't in your face here in Cali, but you feel it. Of course you do. Of course you do. And that's to our point. You absolutely do. And I would much rather have it in my face than to have me feeling it. Okay, they will do away with the University of Mississippi mascot. That's terrible. Okay, DC says they are the true minority and therefore thrive off the thinking they are supreme. The racist people. Okay, got you. The South stereotypes haven't been broken except Atlanta. Child, please. I lived in Atlanta. Don't forget, y'all. I lived in Atlanta. I had 3 salons in Atlanta. Except in Atlanta. Okay, got you. Okay. Let the church say amen. Amen. My best friend growing up, Barry Skeeter Provis, white guy in Mississippi. That's what I'm talking about. You better learn. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all better learn how to know who to go to when you need some help. Y'all better know. Mr. Child, everybody that's white ain't wrong, and everybody that's black ain't right. Everybody that's white ain't right. Everybody that's black ain't right. You better know where you need to go to get you some help, because we're about to come into some times here where the only people you're going to be able to trust are people who are of the same mind. That's what's up. Okay, we all sit up here arguing and stuff, and there's a few people that are here that really know that there's some stuff that's going on right now. We can't say nothing because not everybody ready for it. Everybody ain't ready for the truth. You can tell by conversations if a person is even worth you giving them truth. You can talk to some folks sometimes and you can see their mind sounds exactly like the sound bites that's going on right now in the newscast. So when you hear that, you say, yo, I ain't gonna waste my breath. Because, oh boy, buddy ain't trying to hear truth. Oh girl, she ain't trying to hear the truth. Now why should I waste my time and my breath? I'll go over here and divide my bag of beans with them up the road. Why? Because they know exactly what we're about to deal with. I'm not going to sit up here and sound like somebody else sound like because it makes other people like me or think that I'm smart. Just because I look one way does not mean that I'm supposed to take my vote and blindly jump and vote for Trump or a vote for Biden or a vote for Kanye or a vote for anybody. You don't earn the right to get my vote. If I can see that you mean me no good, and it don't matter who you are, boo-boo. See, I got some glasses, but I don't need them to see. I don't need them to see. I don't need them to see. If I look at legislation that somebody has passed, it makes me wonder about their core. If I can go back and I can find something and see where a person has done something illegal and it is a public record for documentation in courts, and I'm looking and I'm reading the case and I'm looking at all the stuff that's going on in the court case that you were involved in, I'm wondering about you. I don't care what you say. What they're telling us is one thing, y'all. Who cares what they say? What are you doing? What have you done? Let me tell you something. A con artist know how to con you. He and she and they know what to say. Yeah, that part. They know what to say. And so what you do is, when you ended up buying that waterfront property off of Las Vegas Strip, that oceanfront piece of the pie you got on Las Vegas Strip because the salesman told you that it was great, guess what? He had a good mouthpiece, but now he got your money and he gone, and you can't do nothing about it. Now you stuck like Chuck. Okay? Do you really think that somebody who is a salesman is going to tell you the truth? No, baby. But if you look at that company's reviews and look at that company's record, and you go back and you see what they've done, I don't care who it is. You can apply this to anybody with a T, and you're going to find the truth. You're going to find the truth. Yeah, you are. You're going to find the truth. Like it or lump it, love it or leave it. Sorry to say it. Sorry to say it. But it does not matter who it is. If you cannot do research on your own and all you're doing is waiting to tell me what the boob tube said, please do not quote me anything from the boob tube. If you have not gone to the live, if you have not gone to the congress.gov, if you've not gone to whitehouse.gov, if you've not gone to FEMA.gov, if you have not gone to any of these websites and gleaned information that'll get you prepped, stuff that they got to put out there for you to see, and you telling me what somebody else said on another channel, I'm going to eat you alive. You know why? Because I done looked and I done read and I done seen for myself what's really good. You give me statistics, don't get ate up. Do not bring a Q-tip to a jousting. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do yourself a favor. Don't do it. Y'all, we got to have information. Because if you don't got no information, what good does that do? Well, good. And besides that, I don't want a whole bunch of people that think exactly like I do around me. I want folks that gonna give me some type of stimulation on it. Gotta give me some stimulation on it. Okay. Oh yeah, I told him get off my porch. Please get off my porch. Get off my porch. That's what I had to tell him. Okay, let's see here. Author, we are more intelligent than those people they put on the news. Bingo. Not that. That is not who we are. Come on now. That's right. It's the right left paradigm. Yes, it is. And it's all meant to keep us separated. Let me tell you something. If I'm drowning, I don't care if the pair of hands that saved me and pulled me up out that water happen to be white. What am I, an idiot? What am I, dumb? It doesn't matter. If that pair of hands happen to be white that pulled me up out that water, thank you, God, you sent me some help. But I'm just going to turn it off because it's a white set of hands. Oh, no, you know, the white man. Man, please, go on with that. I ain't got time for all of that stuff. I'm not going to sit up here and waste my time thinking that that person is my enemy because you told me they're my enemy. Who are you? You're not my master. I could think for myself. I'm going to look at this person's character and then I'm going to wonder about you. I wonder what's in your mind that all you do 24/7 is try to tell me how evil and wicked this person is. I was checking them out when I first started this job and I became their supervisor or their manager. And the very first day I came on the job, you, the old supervisor who they transferred to another area, what reason why I got your job now, tried to tell me all the bad things about Betty Boop over here. But now you told me that Betty Boop was X, Y, and Z. Now it's 3 weeks in. And Betty Boop come to work on time. Betty Boop do her job. Betty Boop does everything according to policy. She's very compliant, very, very polite. But you, the old supervisor that they moved over here to the other department, I've noticed you keep a lot of mess going. And all you was doing was running Betty Boop down to me for the past 3 weeks in a row. No, baby. Betty ain't the problem. I submit it's you. You got to look. Don't matter what she says. She may have been a nice supervisor at one point, but right now, she ain't nothing but a barnyard dog, keeping up all kind of wrecking mess. All right, let's see. All right. Don't go there. Leave that alone, author. ESP for your young. Again, we are the losers. Okay. My brother is an ATL. Okay. Seared us in facts. Okay. Mind control is actually just right. It is better than any time to research in time, but one still has to dig. Come on now. Information is your most valuable commodity. Thank you. Thank you. Derek, that is so right. Because you know what? Once you get true, unadulterated information, all right, and then you let that stuff sit down and you'll know a little bit, you start wondering, okay, stuff become rhema. Stuff become word, become real to you. Then you say, no. How about you men? No, this chick right here, something about her. I don't know. Yeah, she was pretty, but I don't know about her. Something about her. You start feeling something. You know, the young lady you met online, and you went and you met her, and you guys had coffee during the afternoon, and all of a sudden, something just didn't feel right about her. Some of the stuff that she was saying didn't match up. Y'all young men out there, don't get silent. Ain't no young men in the chat that know what I'm talking about. You ain't never met a woman that looked too good to be true. Yeah, it's happened. Because I know with us women, we know it's happened. It's happened to us a lot, or we know somebody it's happened to. That's exactly what's going on right now. So for me, I don't want to know about all of the this said, that said. I'm fine. I don't like none of them as far as people are concerned. You guys just saw what I put up just not long ago was I think I'm going to be sitting at the house on November 3rd. Why? There's a lot of reasons why. Okay, there's a lot of reasons why. But listen, you guys, I appreciate you all for being here. This is our Sunday brunch with Fefe. I'm going to do it again next week. Sunday brunch with Fefe. And it's going to be the same time. So if you guys are available and you want to come on and hang out, let's do that. I'm going to use DC's suggestion. I think she said Spring Yard, where people can call in. I love all of you guys. You guys are all good people. Listen, you all, let's give ourselves a plan this week, and let's try to make sure that, just like I gave with good eye last week, I sat down and I watched a great deal of the Democratic convention, because that's fair. In order for you to make a decision about why you feel the way you feel, you need to look into something, and I did, and I sat there and I watched it. um oh my goodness, you are honestly awesome. Your mother and your father raised you beautifully, black spring with autumn. You look like you might be around my oldest son's age. You must be younger than him. Look at me trying to be the yenta, trying to set up people. I don't know if you're married, baby. But baby, let me tell you, he's 33, a very good young man. But you're a very sweet young lady, and your family raised you well. And it's really good. It's, you know what? I'm gonna say something. You can tell when a person has a good quality family. And you can also tell when people don't. Somebody spent some time with this young lady, Black Spring with Autumn, because she is an intellectual individual. She is very kind. She is very sweet. And let me tell you something. Sometimes people may not have had the best parents, but God sometimes will smile on somebody. And you'll find that this person does not have what you think they had, but because God smiled on that person, they have the best politeness. They know how to get out and do their thing. They're polite. They understand. Their sense of reasoning is healthy. You know what I mean? But as it relates to this young lady, she's a very nice young lady. And I'm glad you caught me too, DC. DC, Banning or Carson? Banning or Carson? That's for DC. You tell me what you have an affinity to. Banning, Carson. I'm trying to see what, I don't know, but I know there was school there somewhere. I don't know. Banning, Carson, Wilmington, or Curtis, Carnegie. Which one of those do you have an affinity to? Right. All right, you guys. So I appreciate everybody for being in. Now, again, recap. I want you guys to look at the link that we put in there earlier. That's going to take you exactly where you need to be for that story that we talked about with the Sweetie Pie son and the unwitting or witting insurance salesman. And then also, yes, your hometown is okay. And then you guys, thank you. Can I call you Miss Felicia? You can call me Miss Felicia. You can call me Felicia, Miss Felicia. You can call me anything you want. I'm going to answer, especially if it's called in love. You can call me, hey girl, I'm here. Mama, I'll answer. Auntie, no problem. Okay. So you guys look at that. I want everybody to watch the if you can stomach it, the convention this weekend, this coming week. And then you know what, you guys, they got all these fact checkers. You gotta fact check the fact checkers. Sometimes you gotta fact check the fact checkers. Thank you, old head. Thank you. But don't call me collect. I know that's right. Oh man, you guys, you know what? I think we should all try to go cell phone free one day. Oh, you say don't call collect. Remember when you used to had a regular phone? I got a phone over here, just a regular phone in my home. But I don't even know if we can get collect calls. I really don't know. But okay, don't call me. Call me anything you want to. Don't call me late for dinner. Don't call me collect. That's hilarious. That's good. But look at the convention this week, you guys. If you can stomach it, watch it. If you see something that stands out to you that does not make sense, do your due diligence. Use those sites that I told you. You're going to go to the whitehouse.gov. There you will find every word that has been uttered publicly. Find out from the horse's mouth what that person said as well. When you go on there, do you know that you can go all the way back as far as you want? You can find out all that you want to know about any of the executive orders, anything that was said. You can search by keywords. You can find out who signed what bill. You can find out who did what, how it did what. You can find out all of that. You guys need to go to FEMA. You need to know who's really running things right now. Excuse me. You need to know who's really running things right now. I asked a question in somebody's chat earlier, yesterday, just to see if they knew what they were talking about, and they said something that was halfway. When the country goes under what it is under right now, we are no longer under the president and our rights are suspended. Did you guys know that? Yeah. You got to do your own due diligence and do your own homework and find out what is. A lot of times people will say, well, that's what the law says, but they're really not doing that right now. No, they are definitely doing that right now. When the president signs off and says we are under the state of emergency, he is removed and FEMA comes in. That's where we are right now. He is a figurehead. He is a figurehead. It will expire in September if he removes it, but it can continue. Let me see this right here before we leave, you guys. So true. Nobody ever says King sees King Alfred's plan. So you guys know that and understand that. Some people keep saying, oh, we got rights, we got rights, we got rights. Now what you got the right to do right now is get as much food as you can and get off the grid. I'll holla. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Y'all be good. Y'all be good. And take care. And thank you so much for tuning in with me today. Next Sunday, we will definitely again look at some of the things that we have to recap from this coming week. Prayerfully, we'll all be able to get together and sit around and chat like this with StreamYard. Thanks to DC for recommending it. And again, it'll be really good because we'll all come in. Everybody want to bring a topic? You can bring a topic and we'll all chat about it. Okay? Y'all be love. Be love. Take care.